Have you ever met a kid who just seems wise beyond their years, like they've been here before? Well, today we're diving into a really fascinating idea from the spiritual teacher Bapuji. The idea that some children aren't just gifted, their souls might actually come from way beyond our world. So let's get right into it.
I mean, it's a pretty mind-bending question, right? To think that some kids among us aren't just special, but they could actually be, well, visitors, souls who've traveled here from distant planets, or maybe even other universes entirely, and they're here for a reason.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with Indigo and Star Children, then follow a soul's cosmic journey to get here. After that, we'll look at their mission on Earth, touch on life on other planets, and wrap up with the whole Apollo 11 mystery. It's going to be a wild ride.
All right, first things first. Who are we even talking about here? Well, the teachings break it down into two main types. You've got your indigo children, and then you've got star children.
So what's the difference between the two? Well, it's pretty clear-cut. On one side, you have the indigo children. The idea here is that they're super intelligent souls who are actually reincarnating from Mars. But then you have the star children. Now, these are described as totally new souls, coming straight from other universes, and they supposedly have even higher powers, maybe even a unique DNA. So it's not reincarnation for them. It's a direct arrival. It's a really interesting way to think about those kids who just seem to be on a completely different level, you know?
And get this isn't just some fringe theory floating around. The source material points to a real, government-backed program in China all the way back in 1982. Its whole purpose was to find these kids, and the result? They supposedly identified 100,000 children with these exact extraordinary traits. 100,000. That's a lot.
Okay, so that naturally leads to the next big question. If these star children are really coming from other universes, what's that trip like? I mean, how do they even get here? Well, their path to Earth is described as this incredible, epic, cosmic journey.
And it's not a simple A to B trip. It's a whole process with distinct stages. So it all starts in another universe. The soul enters our solar system as just this point form of pure energy. From there, it actually takes on a form in a spiritual realm called Vishnu Puri. Then it travels through what are called the seven worlds. Think of them as different planes of existence. And finally, it waits in these realms near Earth until it consciously chooses the right moment to be born. It's a very deliberate journey.
So you can see this incredible journey isn't just for kicks. It's not random. These souls are coming here with a very specific purpose. So, why Earth? What exactly is their mission?
And their purpose is, well, it's huge. It's all about leveling up humanity. We're talking about everything from increasing good deeds and advancing our welfare to making massive new scientific discoveries. They're also here to spread spirituality and introduce us to concepts like higher worlds and universal knowledge. Basically, every part of their mission is about pushing us forward.
But here's the catch, the big paradox. Even with this massive mission, the moment they're born on Earth, they forget everything. The influence of our world's five elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, it basically wipes their memory of who they are and where they came from. The purpose is still there, but it's buried deep inside. So to actually fulfill their mission, they need a little help, a little inspiration from the spiritual or subtle world.
And if you're looking for a way to wrap your head around this, a really good parallel is the concept of avatars in the Hindu tradition. We're talking about powerful souls or deities like Shiva or Vishnu, who come down to Earth from these subtle, non-physical realms to do a specific job. They go from being this unmanifest spiritual energy to a manifest physical form. It's a very similar idea, and it gives us a familiar framework to understand these star children.
Okay, so if we're talking about souls coming from other universes, it begs a pretty big question. What about our own backyard? What about life on other planets right here in our solar system? Well, according to this source, our little corner of the universe is anything but empty.
And the whole philosophy behind this comes down to an ancient principle. As is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm. Or to put it simply, as above, so below. The idea is that if life can exist here on our tiny little planet, why wouldn't it exist on a much grander cosmic scale? The universe is just a bigger version of what's happening right here.
And this is where the details get really fascinating. The teaching says each planet is actually governed by a deity, a kind of subtle ruler. For example, the beings on the sun, ruled by someone called Surya Deva, are said to have bodies made of ether and fire. That's why the heat doesn't bother them. Then you've got Jupiter, where the beings are made mostly of air. And the moon? It's apparently home to subtle souls whose bodies are made up of three different elements:
Pretty wild, right?
All right, this brings us to our final piece of the puzzle. And this is where all these spiritual ideas collide with a huge moment in modern history, the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Now, here's something we know for a fact. During the live TV broadcast of that first moon landing, the feed just cut out. For 2 whole minutes, complete radio silence, an unexplained interruption.
And that's the question that people have been asking for decades, right? What happened in those 2 minutes? What did the world not get to see? What were they trying to hide?
Well, according to Bapuji's vision for meditation, the explanation is absolutely extraordinary. He says that in that 2-minute window, another spaceship showed up, not one of ours, one from Saturn. And the Siddle souls who live on the moon saw both of these ships as intruders and basically kicked them out. They drove both Apollo 11 and the Saturn craft away.
The way the source explains it is with a simple analogy. You need a cosmic visa. Just like you can't just waltz into another country, you can't just show up on another world without permission. This whole encounter was supposedly a warning. And think about what happened next in the real world. NASA, pretty quietly, canceled the Apollo 18, 19, and 20 missions. Coincidence?
And that really leaves us with a final, massive thought to chew on. If there's even a little bit of truth to any of this, the idea of subtle worlds, of cosmic laws, of souls journeying between universes, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible truths might be sitting right in front of us, hidden in plain sight?